Hi everyone, this is Lady T from Soup to Nuts Uncensored, bringing you the latest in hip hop, R&B, and entertainment news. So we know that Scandal is in its final season, season 7, and it's been a pretty long season. And I just wanted to come and give you all a recap for those gladiators who have watched from the very beginning. This is the final season of Scandal, one of my favorite guilty pleasures. So this season started out with Liv taking over the White House, even though Melly has become the president of the United States. But Liv has become B613 Command in this episode, but it poses to make her be more of a monster than she's ever been, and she's done a lot of ruthless things. So then President Grant tries to start a peace process, and this is in episode 2, in the Middle East, hosting a steak dinner for President Rashad of Bahrain. Anyway, Olivia is secretly thinking about a backup plan. Meanwhile, QP&A is trying to gain more clientele. So Olivia is not in charge of her firm anymore. Quinn has taken over, and they're now trying to drum up business. And they're not friends like they were. They were all close to Olivia, and they're not anymore. Third episode, Fitzgerald Grant is the focus of this episode and his life since handling in his presidency. So we know it was a lot of scandal with, of course, with Fitz as the president, and we know that he is no longer the president. Melly took over, and there's a whole lot going on in the White House as a result. Cyrus Bean is still there, of course, doing what he does, being crooked. So the fourth episode talks about Liv is busy running the free world. The team of QPA works with an unexpected client to solve an important case. At the White House, Melly prepares for the upcoming nuclear summit with President Rashad and Prime Minister Nazari. There's too much to really go into. A lot happened, and it's a lot to kind of recap. So I'm just giving you little snippets of what happened during the course of the season. And we know that the guy from Bahrain, the ambassador, was eventually killed, and a coup was formed, and someone else took over. Then Olivia and Melly assert their power like never before. Meanwhile, Cyrus works on congressional approval to declare war again in Bahrain because, of course, Cyrus is up to his old tricks again. The gladiators come together in this next episode to celebrate Quinn and Charlie's big day. Back at the White House, Cyrus, Melly, and Jake deal with the new crisis in the Middle East. So in this episode, Charlie and Quinn were going to get married, and we know that she was like almost full-term pregnant at this point. And so she was getting married, but she was abducted. So someone kidnapped her. In that episode, that's when she was kidnapped, and they thought she ran away at first. But Charlie knew she hadn't run. He knew that they were in love and that they had plans on getting married and spending their life together after their child was born. That's why they were going to get married. And then after Quinn's kidnapping effect in the next episode, all of her loved ones, including Olivia, had this ritual where they all shot out a gun in remembrance of Quinn, because at that point they thought that she was dead. Little did they know Papa Pope had her in his house. She had the baby, and he had her hiding her in the basement with the baby. So that's that episode. Olivia agrees to join Fitz in Vermont, where she discovers that her closest friends have orchestrated a relentless intervention. So nobody wanted Olivia and Fitz to get back together again. We know that she was in a really big relationship with him early on, a few seasons back. And so definitely nobody was in favor of their relationship anymore. And then in the next episode, Melly's plans to name Jake as her new chief of staff only propels Olivia to do whatever it takes to make sure that does not happen. Back at Papa Pope's house, Quinn becomes restless, wondering just how long Rowan intends to keep her and Robin hidden from the outside world. Meanwhile, QPA, Abby, Huck, and Charlie decide that it's time to move forward with new clients when their first case leads to surprising intel. And then in the next couple of episodes, Annalise Keating from How to Get Away with Murder has merged with Olivia and has asked her to help fast track a judicial reform class action to the United States Supreme Court. And so they went to Melly to ask her to help. And of course, Melly was going to, but changed her mind after talking with Jay. And then we find out that Olivia and them did get it to pass without her help because, of course, Olivia is very smart and she knows how to get things done. And so they both were able to pass the law. Now, the law was about people who were being incarcerated unnecessarily. And it was, of course, a lot of African American and minorities were being held in prison. And they were getting like charges, it was too many different charges and nothing was being done by the judicial system not working in their favor. So in the next episode, Cyrus Bean and David were on Air Force Two, and come to find out Cyrus had hijacked the plane, even though at the time he didn't know he did. So he had the plane hijacked so he can get Melly out of the White House and that he can become the president, because that's been his thing all along. He's always had his eye on the presidency there. So Olivia, Quinn, and all of them have teamed up again to work together to solve the mystery. Meanwhile, while Olivia figures out it was Cyrus because he blatantly told her, she goes back to elicit their help. They wouldn't at first, but when Charlie got arrested and it was being framed for the hijack, then they all decided to work with her. So this is my recap on the scandal. But the last thing I'd like to say is Olivia Pope has freed her mother. Mama Pope, who we know is just completely a lunatic, was being held in this beautiful apartment where Olivia had her. And now she had a heart-to-heart with her mom, and she finally decided to let her go. And we'll see what happens, because I don't think we've seen the last of Mama Pope. Definitely we have not seen the last of Papa Pope, even though we found out that he was holding Quinn, but he wasn't holding her for a bad reason. He was keeping her safe. And he got attached to the little girl Robin in the process. So that's my recap. Once again, on Scandal, the final season 7. All right, everyone, this is Lady T from Soup to Nuts Uncensored, bringing you the latest in hip-hop, R&B, and entertainment news. As I often say, make the day great, live your life on purpose. Take care. I'll talk to you all soon.